In this video, I'm going to talk about three things. A couple of climbing workouts that I did, management of timing, and osteoporosis. Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. Last year, I had a very good race season with a dubious start. This year, as my season is about to start next week, I am doing much better than I was last year at this time. You'd think I'd be happy about that, and I am, but I'm also a bit concerned. I want to be the best I can be, but in April and May, and this being the beginning of February, I have to manage the timing of my improvement so that I not only not hit my goal form too early, but that I don't burn out. And that brings us to the climbing workout that I'm doing this block. This training block started 2 weeks before my season opener, and this is where I start doing over-unders. Generally speaking, over-under workouts are where you spend a little bit of time above your FTP, then a little bit of time below your FTP, and you repeat that. Last year, I did these what I call race-style over-unders, where I spent 1 minute at the top end of my VO2 max, then 2 or 3 minutes at the lower end of my sweet spot. And I repeated that about 4 times. That type of over-under really accelerated my form. But that's not the over-under I'm doing in this block. I'll be doing it in 1 or 2 blocks from now, but if I do it now, it'll screw up my timing. What I'm doing in this block is what I call a time trial type of over-under. I do 1 minute at the bottom of my VO2 max, which is going to be about 106% of my FTP. And then for 4 minutes, I go at the top of my sweet spot, which is going to be around 95-96% of my FTP. I repeat this 4 times for a total of 20 minutes. Being a racing age of 71, I only do 1 set of this. The next block, maybe I'll do 2 sets. And then after I do this, because this is an 8-mile climb, so I have a lot of climbing to do, I spin comfortably for 15 minutes, and then I do what you're seeing right now. 5 sets of 1 minute on, 1 minute off. After a couple of weeks of these once-a-week workouts, I did a group ride with our local elites where we challenged ourselves on the climbs, and then had a lot of race pace on the way back. That ride showed me that this training block that I'm on now, along with the training blocks that build up to this training block, are working for me. If you want to know what I did on those previous training blocks, just refer to my previous videos. Going to the action on the screen, I'm right in the middle of my 5 minutes of 1 minute on, 1 minute off. Pretty much I'm going 1 minute as hard as I can, and then I'm crawling for 1 minute, and this is where my training partner catches up to me, and then the minute ticks over, I get the beep, and then I start going again. As you might well imagine, when I was done with these, I was pretty knackered for the day, and we still had some climbing to do. So then when my training partner caught up to me, I got on his wheel, and I stayed there until it got a little too steep, and he just rode away from me, and then I just crawled in as I was waiting for our other training partner. That group ride I was talking about, and it was a good one. I filmed it. So that'll be another video coming out soon. Eventually we got to the top, and then we rode back to our cars. Ordinarily you would think this would be it. It was a good workout, you go home and recover. And that's what I did, but it wasn't done yet, which brings us to the third topic, osteoporosis. I started racing in 1990 when I was 35, so I've been racing for a little over half my life. And I can remember soon after I started racing, I ran into somebody that was a long distance kind of guy. He put in lots of miles. He was telling me that he recently had a doctor's appointment where he had to get a shot because of his bone loss. He looked to be in his 40s, maybe 50s. And back then I didn't know anything, and I was thinking, why would he need that? Well, now that I'm older, not just because I'm older, I know more stuff, including that cycling is a linear sport. Not only that, while it feels like it, it doesn't put the necessary stress on your muscles. That promotes bone growth. You may have seen in the last 6 months or so a lot of videos promoting the benefits of off-season lifting for cyclists. Within the last year or two, I shifted my race training to more of a functional longevity training. Now, I'm still obviously training for racing, but there were some aspects of training for racing that were in conflict with functional longevity for enhancing that. One of those conflicts is the need to work on enhancing your balance. The other is promoting bone growth, and you do that by lifting heavy weight. Heavy weight for me is not hundreds and hundreds of pounds. It's enough to stress my muscles. Typically, after I warm up, I do 3 working sets of 3 to 5 reps. That's it. I do this twice a week. First time I do it on Sundays, no more than 3 hours after my ride. I'll do it again after my midweek intervals, which used to be on Wednesdays, but now they're on Tuesdays, so I'm kind of experimenting with that. That's going to be just a day rest between each of those workouts. Right now I'm just doing squats. When the daylight's good, I'll do some box jumps. When I get more daylight, then I'll work in some lunges. And bone growth is not the only benefit of this. So are your muscles. Cycling alone is not taking care of your leg muscles like you'd want it to. At my age, atrophy is not the main thing I worry about. It's sarcopenia. Once the muscle's gone, it's not coming back. I hope you enjoyed this video and you got something out of it. Remember to hit that bell to get notified whenever I put out another video. And another one's coming. As always, remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.